Alrighty, everybody, welcome to Auto Racing Digest. My name is Dylan Spaulding. Hopefully, everyone is having a great day here on this Friday. We are joined with a very special guest this afternoon. We're joined with a three-time Pinty Series champion up in Canada in the NASCAR Canada Series. Well, now it's called the NASCAR Canada Series. He's raced in a little bit of everything. He's done sports car racing as well. I mean, if there's a car, he's probably raced in it. It's LP Dumoulin joining us here on the show. LP, thanks so much
How
for
you
taking some
guys
time to
doing?
talk.
Thanks for
Thanks so much.
having me, guys.
Absolutely, man. Thanks so much for taking some time to talk, and obviously excited to unpack some things with you here this afternoon. Um, I guess I just want to kickstart things off. Obviously, we're wrapping up here 2024 overall. How do you feel your 2024 year went for you?
2024 was good. I mean, it was not exactly what we were expecting. Is it really what we deserved as a team? I don't think so because we really worked hard to make those cars better, and we did a lot of hard work in the shop, hard work testing, and the racing part of it was decent. Actually, we were capable of finishing on podium and in top fives, but no win this year. So. That's what we're looking for. And like every other teams, we want to win races. We want to be up front, and the competition is very good. It's very high in the competition. Great teams, great drivers, great crew chief, and everybody's evolving every year. So that WeatherTech 47 OmniFab Benmar car was good. Was it enough? No, but that's what we're working on right now.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, for fans who are wondering what the NASCAR Pinty series is, now the NASCAR Canada series, it is obviously a Canada-based series. Every race is up in Canada for the season. But just talk a little bit about what that competition is like up there, what the driving style is like. I mean, it's definitely obviously there is a lot of similarities to what the main series are here in the States for NASCAR are, but it is definitely a different series. It's got its own unique style to it.
It's got a unique style, but it's NASCAR. Definitely, we are we're under NASCAR. NASCAR owns the series, and then we are proud to be under the NASCAR brand. I mean, those cars are all similar to what you guys are used to down south. And then yeah, we do five road course, seven ovals. Most of those ovals are short track, and then we have one dirt race that we've done the past 3 years. So there was a lot of diversity in the driving style and car wise. We have to in the shop we need different cars: the road course car, the oval car, even the dirt car, and then yeah. I mean we run very fast track like motorsports CTMP. And then which is like similar to Watkins Land, and then place like that, Road America, or other long track, fast track. Great for those cars. Actually, we can really stretch our legs and have some good fun. And we do track like Three River, Trois Rivières Grand Prix, which is a street circuit. So that's for road course. And then on oval, we do half a mile. I would say would be the longest oval, but some of them have a lot of banking. It creates a lot of very good racing. So what I would say is the fans got it all. You get you have pretty much whatever you need in that series, and then the level of driver is any type of drivers from Formula Indy, Formula One, even like Jacques Villeneuve came over. And then you go towards Cup Series drivers. Sometimes comes to our series as well. So you get them all. And full time in this series, you'll have guys that's been in the IndyCar, been in the Cup Series, been in the Xfinity, truck, everything. So I think we're very, very proud of that series. The NASCAR Canada Series is strong, very competitive, and it creates a really good show for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the driver quality is definitely continually to expand, and we're seeing. I know Chase Briscoe ran this year as well in the series, so it does seem like there is definitely a growth and a contingency for NASCAR racing up in Canada. I mean, what's the overall reception like from the fans in terms of this series and seeing how it's been able to grow over the years that you've been in racing in the NASCAR Canada Series?
Yeah, I mean it's been really very cool to look at how the series has changed, and then how many more people we see every weekend, and the quality again of teams and drivers, but as well as the amount of people we see at the racetrack across Canada. So we go from all the way up to Edmonton, and we did like Newfoundland last year. So we do like from one side to the other, and fans are right there. They want it, they love it, and it's the biggest series up here in Canada. So we're very proud of it. It's a great and the thing is, we run um, from the testing starts in April, and you can probably test until beginning of November, maybe the end of October, but because of the winter up here, we have to really compress everything within those months in the summer. So the schedule is really intense and challenging for all the teams and drivers.
I want to take a step back. I want to talk about how you got into racing. Kind of what was that upbringing like in racing? I know your brother also races as well. He's raced in the NASCAR Canada Series. So just talk about how you got into the sport. What made you attracted to getting into racing?
Well, I my dad was a gym teacher, and then he was very passionate about racing, and then he was really good at working on cars and mechanics. So he became a mechanic teacher afterwards. But I was raised around sports, like soccer, like American football, rugby, basketball. I played them all, like, and then but we were just a little family, not much money, and then we were, my brother and I, we really worked hard to bring up ourselves into the motorsport, and then we started at Jim Russell in Mont Tremblant, up north in Quebec. So that's a Formula car race school. You guys have one in California, and it's a great way. Back in the days, we had the mechanic championship, so you were working on cars to raise some credits so you can have track time, and there was an internal championship in between the mechanics. So that way you were capable of bringing yourself up in within other drivers and proving what you could do for less money. And we started that way. Then we worked our way up Formula Ford, Formula Atlantic, Formula 2000, Formula Atlantic. And then we went towards sports cars. Back in the days, it was a Grand Am series, Endurance series, that is now WeatherTech IMSA series. So and then at some point we had some opportunities to go towards NASCAR, and we did it. But we still do sports cars and stuff like that when we can. Like my brother won the 24-hour of Daytona twice. I was on the podium at a 12-hour Sebring type of deal with the WeatherTech Porsche car back in the days. So that's it. So we worked it up that way, and but we really hooked on the NASCAR side of it. And with WeatherTech, my main sponsor, it's been 13 years now, 13 years with
Wow.
WeatherTech. We got 3 championship in this series, and we are very proud of it. And we're not done.
I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Yeah, I mean, what has it just been like getting to go through this kind of journey with, especially having your brother by your side? I mean, just getting a chance to race with him, and then getting the chance at the NASCAR Canada Series to run with him as well. I mean, what has kind of that journey been like to be able to do it with your brother, with your family? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool.
It is really cool. I mean, my brother is older than me, and as I said very often, to have one of the best driver out there in your backyard, so you can fight with every Christmas dinner. Let's put it that way. But no, I mean we I think we've helped each other to get to the next level always, and it was great to so far to have my brother with me in that journey, and then obviously one of the best in the industry, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, you talked about also as well. You talked about your sports car uh, background as well, kind of going into sports car racing, then jumping into NASCAR Canada Series. Just talk about sports car racing and running those Rolex 24 races and some of those endurance races. What I don't know what entices you about sports car racing and in those style of races. It is definitely different than what you're doing now in the NASCAR Canada Series.
I love it. I mean, honestly, I've done the 24-hour, I think 4 or 5 times. I don't recall, but I didn't get the watch. But I got the rings at NASCAR, but I don't have the watch yet. Maybe I'm gonna have my shot at doing it again one day. Um, it's totally different. Driving style wise, those cars are obviously more stiff. The aero, the braking, all the technology you're gonna have in the sports cars. And then you mix all those GTD with the DP, and then all those prototypes, and it really it's a big field, and the speed difference in between cars is huge. You share your seat with other drivers, and then you go for long races, so you have to pace yourself. Not that you really pace your speed, you got to go all out. Now those cars are really reliable, so you can go all out on the speed. But I would say I think you have to be a bit more smart about the intensity when you do passing and the way you position yourself on track. You have to be very smart, in those series. So it's a lot of fun, though. You get to drive Porsches, Ferraris, BMW, and name it. Lots of great, brand, um, Ford, Mustang, and then all the GM cars. It's a brand kind of battle, and then I think it makes it really cool in those sports car series. And I had a blast. And I still do some when I coach. Sometimes I do some private coaching in the Ferrari Challenge Series as well as the Porsche Series, and I get to still drive those cars that are beautiful piece.
What is the biggest challenge in terms of just preparing yourself for those 24-hour races? Again, it's a very different very different race than any other race on the schedule, especially in IMSA and even in other series as well. How do what does that preparation look like for you when you go into a race like that where it's going to be a long night? There's a lot that could happen.
Well, first of all, you have to be physically really fit. I mean, endurance is everything. You have to be capable of doing long stints, and then in all kinds of conditions. It could be really hot out there, especially when you do the 12-hour Sebring or 24-hour Daytona. Although Daytona is in January, usually it's been pretty decent or sometimes very cold for the 24-hour. But you have to be really fit, and you go for the long run. Yes, you'll try to catch the sleep whenever you can, but it's really loud. Even if you go to a nearby hotel, you'll still hear the track. The roar is just like it goes for 24 hours. So it's hard to sleep. Nutrition, like whatever you eat is very important. You got to be smart about it and find a way to be nice and smooth with your digestive system. You got to be myself. I'll go for pasta and chicken and nothing really too acidic. And I try to keep it simple. Let's put it that way, so we can digest well for those 24-hour. And then, yeah, mentally, it's a big show. It's huge. I mean, there's cars and drivers coming from all around the world to do the 24-hour Daytona and 12-hour Sebring and those type of racing. So, you sometimes put a bit too much pressure on yourself. You gotta bring it back a notch and say, hey, this is still just racing. Everybody has a job to do and focus on the task. So, yeah, there's a lot of preparation behind it, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and a month ago you just made your return back to Daytona for the HSR 24 event. What was that? What was that weekend like? That is such a fun event with the historic cars and every cars from the 60s to now. I mean, what was just that like being a part of it and then getting to also race with Justin DiBenedetto for that weekend as well? You were kind of teammates with him, you were mentioning. So, what was just that weekend like just being able to be a part of it?
It was a lot of fun. I usually do that race with my friend Sean McKegg, with Cobot as a sponsor. He races in the Porsche series and the WeatherTech Sports Car Challenge series. Um, and we do that race with a 997. It's an old car, but it's a lot of fun because that car has no aids. Like there's no traction control, no ABS. It's still a stick shift sequential. And I raced those cars pretty much back in the days, actually, during the 24-hour Daytona. So it's always a cool weekend, hang out with friends. Justin was there, but the whole team at TPC was there with older cars. Like Michael Villavitis was there with his 996, I think, that he won the 24-hour back in the days with Mr. Popes and all those guys on the team. So that was pretty cool to hang out with all of those friends for that weekend. We always put some pressure to ourselves to go fast, but on the other end, it's an HSR weekend. It has to be fun. And again, there's drivers from all around the world that does that weekend, and pro that are there for that weekend. I mean, they're going fast.
Yeah, it's definitely it is a wild weekend to see the names that are on the entry list. I remember last year Adrian Newey was involved in the race and just to see the amount of talent and the amount of experience that comes to that HSR event. And it may be the only event that they do all season, but it's a pretty neat event to see some of the names that you get to go up against. And even in your class as well, there's a lot of exciting names. Patrick Dempsey and Vincent Barletta. I mean, there were some really,
Oh
really
yeah,
big names in that class.
oh yeah, big names. And again, we all there, to drive hard but have some fun. I mean, Adrian knew he was there. He was driving the heck out of that car. I can tell you that. It was a good show. He was no slouch. I mean, the guy can drive.
Yeah.
So and you see all those historic car. I mean, like older, but like they don't like drive them slow just for the
No.
show. No, they drive them hard, and they got good drivers to be behind the wheel. So I think it's great the way they do it every year the HSR weekend at Daytona.
Absolutely.
And
It is a
Sebring
lot of
actually it
fun.
was this weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Um, Talking a little bit about getting your break in the NASCAR Canada Series. 2009 comes around, you get your first opportunity. You get to team up with Marc-Andre Bergeron in the car running the 47. Just talk about how that deal came about. How did you get your break in the NASCAR Canada Series?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. My friend Marc Andre is a professional hockey player, so he played 10 years in the NHL. And his agent is the same agent as I have, Paul Courbet from Parafi Group. And back in the days, I was already coaching in the Ferrari Challenge. Another hockey player named Patrice Brisebois. He won the Stanley Cup in '93. I think the last Stanley Cup we had in Montreal. But anyways, we all kind of got all friends together, and even Le Cavalier. Maybe you remember Le Cavalier used to play for
Yep.
Tampa. He won the
Yep.
Stanley Cup there. He was involved with us as well at the beginning of our team. So a bunch of great guys, athletes, sported that they want to help us to start that NASCAR Canada team. So that's why my number is 47 for Marc Andre, and I was coaching Le Cavalier as well, which was number 4 when he played the NHL. So we took his number from my brother's cars, and then we started that way. So in 2009, started doing a couple races in the NASCAR series. And then because NASCAR is all about marketing, sponsorship is a big deal in NASCAR, and I think that what they do is really help the drivers to build up a great marketing deck. Like a really good program that you can expose for potential sponsors. So that's the reason why we went towards NASCAR. So we started up with partners and people that helped us at the beginning, and then did a couple races in 2009, a couple races in 2010. And in 2011, I was doing very well on the road courses. And back in the days, our director was Brad Moran, which is now the Cup Series director. So Brad, a great guy, good friend of mine, came to me after the road course races, and he said, "LP, you are battling for Rookie of the Year right now. So if you find a way to do a couple oval until the end of the season, you could maybe get the Rookie of the Year deal." That's back in 2011. So I was like, okay. So we tried to switch my road course car into an oval car, and we did some oval racing, my first experience of oval. And we found a way with my friend Billy Burns as a crew chief and all the people at Dumoulin competition to win the Rookie of the Year back in 2011. And then I was still coaching in the Ferrari Challenge Series. And I ended up going to Sonoma that year, coaching Cooper McNeil. Cooper was a kid back in the days, and he was racing in the Ferrari Challenge Series, and I coached him for a weekend. A friend of mine, Anthony Lazzaro, said, "LP, can you coach this weekend?" I said, "Yeah, no problem, I'll go over." And Anthony Lazzaro, a big name in the racing industry as well. Anyways, and I met David McNeil, his dad, Cooper's dad, and then we found that we had, David's got Canadian roots as well, and we started talking and we became friends. And then I won the Rookie of the Year NASCAR. And then WeatherTech was getting bigger in Canada. And David said, "LP, how does it work? If we want to have our name on your car, your suit, your whole hauler and stuff up in Canada, because, obviously with the weather we have here, WeatherTech is the best product you can get for our type of weather." So started that way. And then we met with the Canadian side after. And then they've been sponsoring me for 13 years now. So I'm a
Wow.
very blessed person, very proud of that. It's a great story, because when you are in the racing industry, um, it's hard to get sponsorship. It's hard to have a sponsorship that you can keep for a long run as well. So I'm very proud of that, and that's why I show up every weekend. So grateful of the opportunity I have, to be racing and have such a great partner as WeatherTech, as well as my other partner that's helped us starting this journey.
Yeah, and excuse me, and three championships under your belt as well. I mean, just talk about winning that first title. How special was that to be able to grab that first title and then to go on to win another two in your career? I mean, you have been able to you've been able to make a name for yourself within the NASCAR Canada Series as kind of one of the top names in the series.
It was unreal. I mean, my crew chief that year was Mario Gosselin. Mario
Hmm.
that has a team in the Xfinity series, and he's from Quebec, but he's down south now, and he's a big name in NASCAR. So Mario really helped me out that year, and the whole team at King Motorsport to go get that first championship. It was amazing. It was my third 12, 13. Yeah, it was my third full season in the series, and we won the championship. Was not easy at all. A lot of big fight back in the days with Fitzpatrick and a lot of big names as well. Kennington was there, Stickley,
Hmm.
Hathaway, Ranger, name it. I mean, it's just amazing when you get the chance to be fighting with all those guys. There's way more names that I'm forgetting right now, but it was uh, it was awesome. It was huge for someone that really dreamt about going up the ladder and racing and then winning a NASCAR championship, having your name in the Hall of Fame, and going for the big banquet in Charlotte and meet all the big names. And um, it was a huge, big like dream come true for me. Got married that same year, so it was a big year. 2014 was awesome. It's still awesome right now, but I mean, um, it is huge. It's the first one, obviously. Um, all of them are like different. They're like kids, not exactly like kids, but
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
the first one. You love them all equals, but I mean, it's first experience to get the big trophy, and I'll remember that for my whole year for sure.
I love it. I love it. And then just recently, you got your car in the NASCAR Hall of Fame on Glory Road. I mean, and you were actually that car was the first non-US car, non-US NASCAR to be actually featured on Glory Road. I mean, how special is that to know that you're being recognized for all your achievements at the NASCAR Hall of Fame and you being your car being the first non-US car on Glory Road? That's got to be a pretty special feeling.
Amazing, amazing. When I was called by the director back in the days, Anthony. I mean, Spiteri. It was amazing to. I was like, okay, let's pinch myself here. Like, what? My car's going to be on the Glory Road, and I was like, must be another Hall of Fame somewhere or what? And then I know is that at Charlotte in the Hall of Fame, just where you wear a couple, all those championships. That's where you go, and then you go with Earnhardt and all those big names, like Jimmy Johnson. All those cars are on the same road with my car. I was like, oh, let's do this. No, it was amazing when they told me that, and I had the news. I was like, okay, this is a big deal. It's epic. And then the car's still there right now. And then so now back in the days, we arrange everything to get the car over and then get it perfect and nice, and we wanted to look good, obviously, and in good shape to be there. And then it started. Some friends of mine that were going down south to visit, and then fans and people that sending me picture, with my car, and then you see there like Dale Earnhardt Jr. car just right there, and I was like, just started coming to me. It's like, oh, this is real. This is big. Um, even a friend of mine, Greg Wallace, Rusty Wallace's son, the older one, not Steve, but Greg, the older one. They're a friend of mine. We met
Yep.
and we had some good time together back in the days. And Greg goes to the Hall of Fame and take a picture of himself with my car. I was like, okay, this is getting pretty big here. But anyways, it's amazing to achieve that. But again, it goes with it, everybody that's helped me to do that. It's not only me; it's the whole team. It's everybody since the beginning of my career that gave me the opportunity to bring it up there, and that's because of everyone that we made it.
There's been a lot of talks about the NASCAR Cup Series potentially going up to Canada, maybe running a race at the Montreal F1 circuit. I mean, it does really seem like we're going in a direction where NASCAR is not only trying to be in the States, but also wanting to take their product, at least in the top series, especially within other countries like Canada, like Mexico next year. So, I mean, how exciting is that as a driver getting to represent the Canada series to see even the Cup series now deciding, hey, Canada's an important part of our series. We want to go race up in Montreal. How special is that to know that you guys are kind of helping grow that fandom of NASCAR all the way up to the top level in the Cup series?
I mean, I would be more than happy to have them in Montreal. I think yes, we have CTMP, which is Mosport. That would be great there. Um, Wherever they go, I'll be very happy. I mean, of course, Montreal for us, it's easy. It's a big town, and it's already had the infrastructure for the Formula One, so I think it would work great for the Cup Series. Um, and I think the fans would love it. They would love it. It's a track that's inviting for passing. The restarts and the whole weekend would be a big show. The whole town, you would feel like the whole town stops around the show and the Cup Series. I think that would be really epic for the future if they can make it up here. We're not too far from the border, and there's a lot of fans in Quebec and Canada, Ontario, that would come all the way up to Montreal. We have a nice airport; people can fly from all over, and I'm telling you, that would be amazing. And
When
I
we,
think we have, I think we have, with all respect, with everybody that's been involved with NASCAR Canada, it's just not about that. But I think that our director right now, Alan Labrosse, has been working in the past as a promoter in all type of racing. So I think he's the right guy to maybe find a way to make this happen. And yeah, that would be more than outstanding. And I guess NASCAR Canada would be part of the show for sure. But for the Canadian drivers, it'd be a good opportunity to maybe get some rides in the Cup and then in the Xfinity as well.
would you run the double? Would you do the Canada series and then Cup series opportunity if it were to come about?
Of course, no problem. I'm in anytime.
I love it.
Anytime. I mean, I ran the Xfinity back in the day was nationwide. I've done some of that with great people. Maybe not the best car, but I had a good time doing it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I want to do that. I mean, with a good car and be competitive up in Montreal, that'd be really cool. And then I would be for sure do double duty, no problem.
Yeah, what is it like to hear about the current reception of the next gen car? I know you guys run obviously different cars than what the next gen is, but there's a lot of reception about it being kind of similar to what a sports car is and kind of having different features like that. What entices you to that next gen car? I don't know. It just seems like it's something that a lot of people are excited about.
No, I mean, for me, it's an advantage. I mean, I'm used to those cars. I mean, I'm used
Yeah.
to someone's at the door.
Nope.
Um, I think it's an advantage for me because I've ran those type of cars like in the sports car series a lot.
Yeah.
All the sequential stuff and all the goodies, I'm used to that. So that would be a problem. I think again, it's an advantage for me because I've been running those cars a lot. So and I think it's cool. I mean, we're not there for NASCAR Canada. Price wise, I think we're good with what we do now. Maybe we can improve a couple of things on our cars, but it's a fun car to drive. It's a fun car to race up here in Canada. I think our package is pretty decent. Um, but if you bring us a lot of our drivers actually are used to that. A lot of those drivers are from Formula cars, from sports cars as well. So I think we could. I mean, not being overconfident, I think we can be doing very well in trying one of those cars for Montreal race or whatever anytime.
I love it. Sign up LP if there's any Cup Series teams out there. Bring LP in. Bring LP in.
Yeah, well,
Bef
WeatherTech's got pretty good shoes up there, though, eh?
They do. They do. They do. Um, before I let you go here on, before I ask this final question for you, I gotta ask. You got some cars in the background in your shop. I mean, can you tell me a little bit about each car, maybe, just before I get this final question in?
This is
Yeah.
this is a road course car. The other one is an oval car.
Okay.
We have kind of a little pull down rig here that we work our stuff on. The other one up there is my brother's car.
Okay.
And we have other car in the background, and the fabrication. It's pretty big and maybe not the best. Right now, everybody's working hard, so but yeah, that's what we run. We got all kinds of different cars, and especially in our series, we have to run, you know, a road course, an oval, and again a dirt that we had to run as well. So that's a lot of parts and movement. Let's put it that way.
I see that. I see that for sure. LP, to close things off with you again, really appreciate the time. Thanks so much for getting a chance to talk with me, and I really am happy to do this. Future plans for 2025. What's next for you? Again, obviously, you kind of mentioned some sports car stuff you're still dabbling into. You got NASCAR Canada Series as well. I mean, what is next for you heading into 2025?
I mainly it's NASCAR Canada. We want to win another championship. We want to win more races, and we want to be competitive. That's what we do. That's what we love to do. That's what we wake up in the morning thinking about, and then we go to bed thinking about it. So NASCAR Canada, going for another championship, as well as some sports cars in here and there if I can do it. The HSR weekend for sure in Daytona. We want to do it again. And yeah, I mean, I got those kids to raise up around karting too. So you wake up and it's already Christmas again.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. What is that like? Just being able to also coach your kids now in karting. That's got to be something pretty special.
Yeah, that is different,
Yeah.
but it's cool. It's fun. It's just that as a dad, when you start, they know a lot. Those kids, eh?
Yeah.
They already think I'm just joking, but no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun to look at them driving at such a young age, and like my oldest one he's got interest in it and he likes it a lot. He's very competitive and he loves all kinds of sports. So it's a great feeling to look at your kids driving and then like not even 7 years ago he was not even walking yet. So you're just like
I love
it's amazing.
That's awesome. Another Dumoulin coming up in the racing world. So
Who knows? Maybe we'll see.
awesome. LP, thanks so much again for your time. Have a great Christmas here coming up in a few weeks, and really, really looking forward to seeing what's to come here in 2025. Thanks again.
You too, my friend. Have a good one. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you.